Dale Jr. just shot past Jeff Burton, and that moves Jr. up to 6th as we watch 3 of the 4 Roush Fenway cars in a row, led by Carl Edwards, who is 16th. Of course, Biffle is up in 4th.
Yeah, we're approaching 300 lap mark, and we still have 29 cars on the lead lap. We only have 6 cars out of this race so far. Remember my FedEx understanding the race, average of 36 cars normally are running at the end of this race. They always find a way to repair them and get them back out there.
Matt, how about Mark Martin?
Well, Mike, he was telling his spotter, Jeremy Brickhouse, pass along a message to Busch. Let me lead a lap for my 5 bonus points, and I'll drop back, and we both can save our tires and not try to over-abuse our stuff, racing each other at this juncture of the race. His spotter said, I passed it on several times. I don't know if he's gotten the message or not.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he got the message, but I'm pretty sure that isn't going to fly. You know, they're not teammates, and Mark might do that for someone, but I don't think Kurt will.
Might change his mind if Mark begins to pressure him, but right now Kurt's under no pressure from the 5.
NASCAR on Fox live from Bristol, Tennessee. It's time for an AT&T race break. We've gone 304 laps out of 500, and Kurt Busch, who won at Atlanta, then the off week, trying to go back-to-back. The only other time he's won back-to-back races, 2002, Martinsville and Atlanta. We've had 21 lead changes, 6 different leaders, 6 cautions. And how about Dale Earnhardt Jr., who is trying to end a streak of 61 races without a win, has jockeyed himself up to 6th, Jeff Hammond.
I think it's more important right now that Dale Jr. is having a really solid run, Chris. He started back in the 18th position. He's been slowly but steadily making improvements to this race car, and they find themselves right now battling for a top 5 position, and that's something we haven't seen from him a lot this year, and I think it's good to see it here at Bristol.
All right, now also at Bristol, Jeff Burton to place, as Mike Joy pointed out. He's had some success here before winning in 08. This is his 33rd race here. He's the kind of veteran driver who can endure a race like this, position himself just for the right time to make his move if he's got the car.
And I'm glad you said it that way, because I talked to Jeff on the way to the drivers meeting this morning, and he said exactly that. He said, I'm trying to keep my nose clean to pass the halfway point and start trying to work my way up toward the front, and once again he's doing exactly that. That's the way you win here at Bristol.
There's a bit of a long shot. How about Marcus Ambrose, a part of Brad Doherty Racing? You talk about the Cinderella story or the NCAA tournament, and he's a guy who last year finished in the top 10 in both Bristol races, and we know he's more of a road course racer, but he seems to be hanging in here, made up for an earlier pit road problem as well.
Yeah, I saw a little bobble right there in that 47 car being driven by Marcus Ambrose, and yeah, I would call him a long shot all the way from down under Australia, but don't call him a road racer, call him a racer. I mean, this guy has really matured and developed a lot. If you can run well here at Bristol, man, you can run anywhere. I don't care if it's a road course, super speedway, but he has mastered, I think, this Bristol racetrack in a pretty short period of time.
Racing like the devil, passing a lot of cars from Tasmania, Australia.
The Tasmanian devil, right?
And Stewart Haas Racing, Tony Stewart running 8th currently, came in 8th in points. His teammate, Ryan Newman, who has not had a terrific year, but running okay today.
Well, they're trying to get something going here with this organization. I talked to Tony Gibson a while back, and he said, you know, Jeff, we fought our way back to get in the chase a year ago. We think we can do it again, but you've got to start turning it around, and today's the day you've got to start doing that. I mean, Chris, short track racing is really where Ryan, I think, has got a lot of strong potential, and he knows he can get the job done here at Bristol. So today they need to come out here, I think, with a top 10 finish.
And you're looking at the leader, Kurt Busch, the Blue Deuce, dealing with some traffic here. And a lap ago with Elliott Sadler part of that lap traffic.
You get an opportunity to see right there that he just gets passed by the Blue Deuce, and he's up high, and that number 2 car, he is really working well on the bottom side of this racetrack. He pulls over, Kurt backs off a little bit, and as soon as he slides up, he sees that opening, and here he comes.
And it's hard to spot between that, but Mark Martin and Jimmy Johnson running 2nd and 3rd. Jimmy Johnson dominated the first 120 laps or so, leading 77 of those. But as we said, Kurt Busch, and talking to Roger Penske, he talked about how Kurt Busch Busch has taken over more of a leadership role. They've had some problems in the past, but the maturity of Kurt Busch, talk about his brother Kyle, but the way Kurt has run, it's helped out a guy, believe it or not, like Brad Keselowski and that Penske race team.
Well, that's where experience comes into play. I mean, he's won a lot of races. Talking about Kurt Busch, he's won a championship, and that's what I think one of the reasons why Roger Penske went after him, not only because of his leadership capabilities, but he likes the edge on the driver. This guy does have an edge to him.
All right, you can text your opinion on who you think should win the AT&T Fastest Pit Crew of the Year award. Points are awarded for fastest pit times. Jeff, of course, has his selection, winning the race, and most importantly, your vote as well. It's the AT&T Fastest Pit Crew of the Year award delivered by AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. We haven't seen the hot tempers and the short fuses we always talk about, but there's still plenty of time left.
I was going to say, you're getting a little bit premature here, my friend. We've still got a long ways to go. I think anything is possible. And these guys, when they realize it's so difficult to pass, when you get to somebody, you're not going to have the patience when you get down to about 50 laps to go.
This has been an AT&T race break from the Hollywood Hotel. Let's rejoin the guys in the booth. Darrell Waltrip, Larry McReynolds, and Mike Joy.
Great battle here for 5th place. Jamie McMurray trying to hold off Dale Earnhardt Jr. They've been chasing back and forth throughout, working a bit of lap traffic. They get past Regan Smith. They had all but caught Greg Biffle 1 lap ago, and then traffic seemed to separate them out a bit, but McMurray's been running the high line and now drops low to get past Travis Kvapil, so Earnhardt Jr.'s not been able to do anything with him.
Observation on the 2 cars. I noticed at Atlanta last week, 2 weeks ago, the car wasn't that good to start the race, but Addington and the boys, they kept tuning on her a little bit, and by mid-race they were
car in the wall, turn 3, Darrell, excuse me.
Yeah, no, 78 in the wall. By mid-race they had that car fixed up, and he's got a right front down.
Coming, hold it up there, hold it up.
Caution is out.
7th caution of the day for Katy, New York's Regan Smith. Watch the 19 of Elliott Sadler. This is about 2 laps earlier. Now, he and Smith had been side by side quite a bit. There's the initial contact.
Looks like the 19 came up trying to get in front of 78 car, and it just wasn't quite clear.
And then 2 laps later, Smith went into the wall with the right front.
I'm going to tell you who couldn't be happier to see that caution. Our points leader, Kevin Harvick. He was just about to fall into the clutches of our leader, Kurt Busch.
Here he goes right here, and here's the pace car right behind him. So, yeah, he was on the verge.
Just not the kind of day Kevin Harvick and that RCR group was looking for.
I think for the 2nd time today, Denny Hamlin would be the free pass car.
And just think back to Atlanta. You know, they struggled. Harvick did at Atlanta. They finally got the car good enough to finish in the top 10, but he hadn't been good since he got here, and that really surprised me.
Feeding time at the zoo once again. Steve Burns is the zookeeper.
Mike, Jimmy Johnson wants a little more overall grip. They're going to make a track bar adjustment. They're also going to take a ½ pound out of the right rear tire. Dick?
Kurt Busch, who won at Atlanta, is looking awfully good today, and so is his pit crew. They have had flawless pit stops all day long for Kurt Busch, and they got another one going right now, Matty.
Mark Martin's pit crew gained him a spot on pit road their last visit. Mark said the track bar adjustment didn't really allow the car to react like he wanted, so they're going to go a wedge adjustment on this stop on the 5. The car still not quite where he needs it on the free side. Kristen.
The communication with the 88 right before the caution came out, all of your corners look good. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s request, don't do anything to hurt the center.
Kurt Busch will be first off pit road, and there's a log jam right behind him.
I believe we had a little rolling of the dice by Todd Parrott in that 17 car. It did. You see 13 spots with Matt Kenseth. Going to do a little science project here with about 175 laps to go, see how it works.
.175 to go. Kurt Busch, Greg Biffle, Matt Kenseth, Jimmy Johnson.